Okay, so today I'm going to show you how to change the cartridge in a mixer tap like this. So what happened with this was last night my wife was trying to use the sink and the tap would not go off. So what I think it is the cartridge that's inside of this. So first thing I did was I turned off the valves here, stop the water. And now we're going to take this apart, take the cartridge out and replace it, and hopefully it should be quite easy. So first thing you want to do is put in your plug. So you can see there's a wee plastic thing here that I need to get to something that's behind that, which is a wee screw. So we're going to just pop this out. Okay. Now, usually in behind here there'll either be a wee grub screw that comes out with an Allen key, or usually a screw that comes out with like a screwdriver. This one's an Allen key, it's a 2mm Allen key. So I've got my Allen keys here. That's a 2mm one. That just needs loosened. So once that there's been loosened, this here will lift off. So there we are. So this is the cartridge here. So first thing you want to do is take off this, it's called a shroud. So I'm going to take that there off by using, I use a pair of vice grips because I don't really care too much about this tap. But if you wanted to protect it, you could wrap it in like a face cloth or a towel. Depending on how long it's been in there, these will either be easy or really difficult to get off. Let's just come off. Okay, so what's underneath here now is this cover. So I'm going to use an adjustable spanner to take this off. It's about 28mm, 20 to 30mm wide on this one. Again, if this is in any way difficult to come off, you can put a bit of WD-40 or something on it. You can get a bit of elbow grease. Okay, so now what we have in here is the cartridge. The cartridge lifts out. Might get some residual water in there. You want to look at your cartridge. You want to measure the diameter of this because they come in either 35mm or 40mm. This one is, I think, the 35mm one. You can take it with you to your plumbing shop and get a replacement. Replacements are between £5 and £10, so they're not incredibly expensive. So that's what I'm going to do now. There's a 40mm diameter. That's the old one there. Let's just compare the two. Old, new. Bottom of them looks slightly different, but that's fine. It'll still work. So what you have on the back of these here is you've got these two wee pins here, and they line up with these two pins, or these two pins here, at the back of the tap, which means it only goes in one way. So you want to put it in until those align. So the easiest way to tell that if it's aligned is if you try to wiggle it, it won't move. And that's because the pins are in place there. So now we're going to put everything back together. So So you want to make sure you don't cross thread this. Whenever I got this off, I cleaned it up a wee bit. It was a bit kind of grubby and rusted on the sides. And tighten that down, and I'm going to finish it off with the spanner. I don't really need both hands to finish tightening this up, but the point of this here is to compress this down into the wee holes that were inside it, so it makes a wee seal there so the water can get in. Make sure now you're tightening this here, you don't want to over tighten it. You don't want to use your other hand to basically push against this, make sure the tap stays straight. So we're going to put our shroud on. And it again does not need to be tight at all, it's just there as like a cover, so that can just be hand tightened. We put our top on. And I'm gonna tighten up the wee screw in here. So I'm gonna need both hands to do that. Okay, so I have tightened up the wee grub screw in there. It's important to note that there's no hole for the grub screw to go into. There's just the end of the wee grub screw just makes a wee impression on it into the plastic. So yeah, it doesn't need to be super tight, it's just to stop the handle moving off. Now we can put our wee cover back on. Red goes to the left, blue goes to the right. And then we put the water back on. Vertical's closed. Sorry, vertical's open, horizontal is closed. So, all being well, I should be able to turn this back on now. There's a bit of air in the system, so that's okay. So make sure that you've got, so there's the hot, that's the cold. So just going to run for a minute, make sure there's no leaks or anything. And make sure it's going off and on properly. Yep, hot. And cold. And that's it. Yep, so there's no leaking around that, there's great. So hopefully you found this interesting. Obviously it cost me £5 for the cartridge, and that's a lot cheaper and faster than having to replace the entire tap, which could cost probably £40 to £50. Okay, thank you.